AirSkillz Podcast.
What's up, family? How y'all doing out there? This is your boy Malcolm Airbrush Assassin McCray. Welcome to the AirSkillz Podcast. I'm with my co-host.
Oh, Lord Rudy, I told you I was gonna catch it, didn't I? I
He got
told
it,
you.
y'all. Man, we've been working on this thing for a long time. What did you call it? A alley-oop?
You call it an alley-oop, it's a lob, it's a oop. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one you want to do, however you want to throw it, I'm gonna catch it. It don't matter, man.
Right
It
on,
don't
right
matter,
on,
baby.
man.
I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, man. This is one of the first ones we doing live, man.
I
What you
know,
think about
man.
that?
I know, but I'm just excited and I'm proud of our consistency with it.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? That's the main thing, and that's the most important thing about it. And I couldn't be happier to do it with you every time, man. It give me some insight. I learn from it. I grow from it. If my battery low by the time I get to the show, I'm high. However you want to take that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so if you don't know, you can go to AirSkillz Podcast on YouTube. We are also on Spotify, all that good stuff. So make sure that you go to YouTube, Spotify, like us, join the movement. Make sure you turn those notifications on and all of that good stuff. So, also look at some of our past interviews.
Yeah.
And, just check it out, man, because this is something that's definitely unique, something definitely different. How would you describe? Because I think this is like our fifth show, right?
Yeah, this is number 5. You know what I'm saying?
So
It's just letting us know that we alive.
how would you describe the four shows prior to this? Because we had King Mo on the last show from Senegal. What's your thoughts?
Man, words come to mind, of course. Man, insightful, organic, artistic, evolving, man, mentorship, development. Man, it's crazy because while you was talking, I'm laughing. I'm like, man, the name of the show is AirSkillz, and one would say like, what the hell is Rudy doing on this show? He ain't even an artist. But at the end of the day, when I think about it and I look at everything you do and I do, life is art.
Right.
And our worlds are blank canvases. We decide what we put in them. We decide what we put on them. We decide how they want to look.
Right.
Unless we give somebody else that authority.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. These last 5 shows, but they definitely been therapeutic too.
Right on, man. So, if you don't know our format, we normally have a topic every show. So today's topic is mentorship, and we just go into what that is, what that looks like, how people can find mentors, why mentors are important, and so on. And let's kind of dive into that, man. And I want to just kind
get
of
right to it today, huh?
Well, I mean, get the people what they want. Get the people what they want.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, brother. That's part of the live. I was just making sure that's what we were doing.
Oh man, but I want to just want to do some condolences to you and your fam, man. With your dad. We're talking about coaching and mentorship. He was always a coach, a mentorship for a lot of individuals, man. So I just want to send some love to you and your fam as well.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Pops was he was definitely a mentor, man. And it's funny because I'm doing the man eulogy, G. Like, I ain't no pastor. And I had to really check myself on that because it was like when I first started writing it, I started to go from previous pastors that I've had the opportunity to befriend or to be around. And then I had to really check myself because I'm not a pastor, but I am a product of him. I'm a product. You know what I'm saying? So my job as a product of my father is to just display the brand pretty much. Right. And remind people of who he is. And a lot of the topics that I talk about in that joint is really gonna be geared around men, to be honest. Because he's a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about him in the past tense. I talk about him in the present tense because everything he gave me and everything he gave everybody around him still goes on to this day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just ain't here in the flesh. But one of the biggest things that I'm gonna talk about, man, is I know when we get there, a lot of people gonna be talking real big about him, how
Mm-hmm.
amazing he was, how awesome he was as a man, and from that aspect, I'm really gonna go into the fact that he'll never hear them words.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He'll never hear those words because he gone.
Mm.
But that's typically how, and I can speak from our culture, that's typically when a black man receive his flowers when he gone.
Right.
While he here, we focus on all his flaws. We focus on what he can't do. We focus on what he
Right.
ain't doing. We
Right.
focus on all the expectations that we put on him. We focus
Right.
on the pressure we put on him. But the moment he die, all the negativity go out the window. So
Mm.
I asked myself, like, I'm real big on the focus on your good. It's coming full circle now.
Right.
Imagine if while people were still here, we gave them those flowers and we focused on their good attributes rather than their weaknesses.
Mm.
Imagine how powerful we would be if we just focused on that while people were still here. Like instead of saying, "Dang, Malk, you should have did that painting different."
Right.
Folks, that painting is awesome. I can't
Right.
paint. I'm gonna tell
Right.
you about your good attribute. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How come we don't
Yeah.
pour into each other more and give each other our flowers while we're here
Right.
instead of waiting until our
Yeah.
demise? That's the
Exactly.
gift that I'm getting from him resting right now. Because I know
Right.
for a fact that every bad juju that somebody put their mouth on, every
Mm-hmm.
negative connotation, every bad experience, I'll never
Mm-hmm.
hear it again. Because once he
Mm.
gone, all you talk about was he was one of the most amazing men I met. He
Right.
taught me this. We focus on the good.
Right.
So
Right.
that's pretty much what I'm gonna be talking about when I do his eulogy. And it's gonna be tough, but man, listen, I'm speaking on behalf of my family.
Right.
It'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah. Right on. Just to kind of piggyback off of that, as being an artist, a lot of the times you don't really people don't really respect or appreciate an artist, until they dead. you know,
Man.
it's this meme that's out, is like support living artists. So, here we are a lot of the times with creative individuals, specifically when you're ahead of the game on things. Um, I think about Basquiat, I think about a lot of writers, authors, all of that kind of perspective. A lot of times at that time in their life, people ain't vibing with them.
Mm-hmm.
People ain't supporting them. People don't see the vision. People don't see the quality of the artwork. So and then and people don't see the value, and then they pass or transition over, and
Yeah.
then from there, now the value goes sky high because this quote unquote artist isn't with us anymore. So, we talked about that in one of our shows about the value and how you value yourself, how you value your craft, how you value your life, how you value everything. And there's a thing of, I know a lot of the time, specifically black men and men of color, we
Yeah.
have this thing where we focus in on legacy, but we don't focus in on the
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Mm.
We
Mm.
focus in on, the legacy. We focus
Ooh,
in on,
wait.
the future,
Mm-hmm.
but put ourselves in a situation where we can be in the moment. And that's
Mm.
kind of like, you know, piggybacking off what you're saying is that it's so important, before we make these transitions, before, time is out. I put it into this perspective. I was having a good conversation with a friend of ours, Devon Didi, not too long ago, and we was talking about we in our 40s.
Yeah.
So I was talking to an elder, one of my mentors, and he's like, man, you might be lucky to have 40 more years, right? Because he's like 70. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
but think of it like having 40 more summers.
Mm.
When you think of it like
Mm.
having, 20 more, 30 more, 40 more summers, it puts things in a whole different perspective
Yeah.
than years.
Yeah.
And we have to like look at not only long-term things, but short-term ways that we can um stay in control, man. Stay on top of it.
Man, listen.
Continue to succeed.
Yeah, yeah, man. I like the fact that you said that, man. Focusing on the now. A lot of times, especially once we get to 40, we start looking like I got my best years are behind me, or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And then in life, especially now, it's being pressured upon us to find our highest self and our strongest self and our biggest self. But I have a theory, bro. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I believe it because just like you nurture a flower, it can blossom to its best potential, or it can blossom to its highest potential. I was thinking with my father, his name is Daniel Porter. My big brother, his name Daniel Porter.
Shay, rest in peace to Porters, man. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Daniel Porter.
But Pops named his son after him. That's the best version of him right there, because he get to nurture that and take that to a whole nother level. He get to be the father that he never had to get him. He get to be the man that he aspired to be. He get to instill all those tools into him. And he'll become the best version of the original.
Right.
That's my theory. I really think that that's what our kids are.
Right.
We have the ability to rear them into what we aspire to be, or at least give them the opportunities to put them in position. And that's a big part of mentorship. Finding those right people that can do that for us, or at least putting our kids in position.
Right. Exactly.
When they tell us, hey, I want to do this. All right. I've been around this world a couple of times. You say you want to do this? I got a guy who do it, and he do it at a major level. Let me introduce you to him, and let's find out how he did it. Exactly. Let's find out the tools that he used. Let's find out, like when you came down with my sons, they both artists.
Exactly.
They met the dopest airbrush artists in the world.
Exactly.
And guess what he did? Because of the relationship we had. All right, let me pull this canvas out. This 30 by 30 canvas. We're gonna put it on this fence. Here go all my airbrush equipment. Y'all get out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm painting this mural. Y'all come on. I want you to help me paint the mural, and I want you to film me paint the mural.
Right.
We put them in position. That's part of the mentorship. That's part of the fatherhood and the coaching and the aspect of it, man. Making sure we got those right connections, making sure we make the right decisions to put our offspring and ourselves in the right position to be successful.
I think too, like I have, especially like in my industry with airbrushing and art, all of it, graffiti, street art, digital work, there's not enough sharing. Everybody, there's this mentality that, if I teach somebody, they're gonna take something from me. Right. So there's not this perspective of, let me teach somebody else as an apprentice, or just as a student, or a young kid that's just around, let me take some time out to teach. My upbringing, specifically coming up in Milwaukee and being an artist, I didn't necessarily have a lot of like painters and different individuals around me that were full artists, but like I had a dude named Paul. He was a white dude right down the way in the hood. He painted cars in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And he had a little rinky-dink shop. I was just giving our friend of ours papers some insight on how to, he's into automotive, how to do a paint booth. Now, Paul, I used to go down to his, I was a kid, man. I would go down to his shop, man. I was probably 11, 12 years old, riding my bike down there. And Paul would teach me. I learned how to do body work. I learned how to prime vehicles. I learned how to, clear coat. I learned all of these different traits by being around an elder, a mentor. And, Paul, the thing I loved about Paul is at 12 o'clock, bro, we was going somewhere to eat. So I would work with him. And then with my airbrushing, I tied that in because a lot of the cats who he dealt with were like ballers, guys who had money. They was getting, different kind of candy paint jobs, and they would take the old Chevy emblems off and have me airbrush the emblems and everything on there. So here I am, a kid you know, and Paul throw me a couple dollars. I'll come down there and help him. He helped me. I learned a lot. And those kind of people in your life play a big role. From as a kid, I was always one of those kids who I was just amazed that I don't care what you was doing. If it was a guy that was doing street cleanup or different construction on the street, I'd be sitting there just watching them, you know, trying to just pick up on something. And that's what's so important nowadays is that as adults and as young people, we got to be able to build more bridges and like be in the moment more. And when you're working
Mhm.
with your hands, when you're observing things outside of looking at a TV screen or a cell phone screen or a tablet screen, it
Uh-huh.
unlocks and gives you these different kind of experiences that you can't get, you know, with just the digital perspective of things nowadays, you know?
Yeah, man. And I think it's important, since we're talking about mentorship, to take the ceiling off of it,
Mm,
one, and to realize that all your mentors ain't gotta be millionaires.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Some of my mentors who are millionaires, I met them
Right.
before they was.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I saw their growth, I saw they rise, I saw the whole thing. And some of them remained the same and some of them didn't.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? That saying is true. Like it hurts you when you meet your superhero, whatever you want to call them.
right. Right.
Whatever you call them, sometimes when you meet them, when they there, if you ain't
Right.
know them here, you
Right.
might not know who they really were.
Right.
Some of my mentors, I consider you one of my mentors. You know
Right
what I'm
on,
saying?
man. To see you
Uh,
as one as well.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, just knowing that it's levels to the mentorship,
Right.
and the mentor ain't always. It ain't about the currency all the time. It ain't
Right.
about the flash all the time. It's really about the knowledge and the relationship,
Right. Exactly.
and that's what grew me. That's what grew our relationship.
Exactly.
I'm able
So
to feed off you. You able to feed off me. We help each other. You older than me, even though it don't look like it. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah,
don't look
man.
like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Mm,
it's amazing in that aspect that we are able to do that and have a friendship in the same site because we can have conversations that most people can't have.
right. Right. I think that kind of folds into it as well is I've been mentoring a lot of creative individuals for a while, and you know, artists, entrepreneurs, creative individuals, period. And one of
Yep.
the things that I run into a lot of times is like you got to be careful on who you consider a mentor. Like if this person ain't doing what you want to do or ain't aligned up with who you are. Like for me, I don't take every student as a mentee. You know, I don't
Mhm.
take everybody underneath my umbrella because I realize that it's got to be something that you got to deserve and you got to work towards and you got to be 100% committed to, you know.
Right, right,
So
right.
for individuals, you know, who don't have mentors or looking for mentorship, what would you say would be like some steps that they could kind of like use as a tool to encounter mentorship, find mentors, and so on?
I think that's tenfold. I was about to ask you the same question, brother.
Okay,
But I
I
think
got
it's
some
tenfold.
feedback. I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna fire mine off.
Got. I think it's tenfold. I think it's two sides to it. Because one side would be if I don't know where I'm going in
Mm,
life, if I don't know who I am, if I don't know what I aspire to be, and then I see somebody and I like that space,
mm,
that could be a form of mentorship, or it could just be a crash course to
mm,
you becoming a carbon copy of them. And
mm.
I'm glad that I was able to figure out early that I never want to be a carbon copy of anybody on this earth.
Right,
Ain't no hair on my head the same as yours. You know what I'm saying? We always created differently. Granted, they say we always created equal, but that's a total different conversation. But it's only one me on this earth, and
right,
I don't need to try to make a carbon copy of somebody else because I'm me. It's my job to
right,
find my passion. It's my job to find my purpose. And once
right.
it's my job to create the integrity and the character and the values that I instill in myself, or
Mhm.
that was instilled in me from my father, or my uncles or my brothers, and I make sure that I'm aligned with those. And then I find my passion and my purpose, and I find somebody in that lane, or I find somebody who can help me in certain aspects of my life. Like I have a lot of them because it's so much to me.
Right.
You know what I'm
I'm the same
saying?
way.
I got a spiritual one, you know what I'm saying? I got one that I talk to about business. I got one that I talk to about professional stuff. I got a couple that I talk to about personal stuff. But finding those people wasn't easy
Right.
because I had to find out if not even compatibility, but
Hey, vibe. Yeah, the
it,
vibe got to be right.
it gotta be the right, and it gotta be the right energy. It gotta be the right vibe. It gotta be some
Right.
type of connection.
It
We
got to
have to
be some
connect
type
on
of
some
connection.
level, and it has to be something that you can give me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And give it to me in a sense that I can regurgitate it in my own way, so
Right.
that I can feed it to somebody else.
Right.
But it's not easy finding mentors, especially now
It's
in this
not,
time of day.
man.
Everybody's selling something.
Everybody's selling something. I was going to
Everybody.
piggyback off of what you're saying, man. Like literally, I've went through. I go through mentors as well because first of all, like it might be a person that comes into your life and they might be there just to solve one problem. They might not be there for the whole journey. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Their job
Yeah.
might just be to come into your life to solve one problem as a mentor. I've run into a lot of I'll give I'll if I see something in value that I feel like I want to learn from this individual, I'll give it a benefit of the doubt because I know how I am. But you got to be careful with how you spend your money, who you invest your money into. There's a lot of get quick rich,
Yeah.
guru kind of
It's all about currency
situations
and
out
things
there.
now.
Yeah, and so you got to be careful. I'm mentoring a young artist right now. She's told me like she's got scammed by numerous individuals. That just are taking advantage. So what I realize is that first of all, I got to vibe with you, and then second of all, like it got to be something for me that I specifically need your assistance with. So meaning that before I'm even gonna contact this person as mentorship, I'm gonna do my homework to be able to make sure that I'm aligned up with this person, but specifically what can this person help me with? And that's the same thing
Mm,
with me. Like anybody, any great mentor is gonna have you do an evaluation sheet. That's gonna be just what are you hoping to learn, how I can best serve you, and where we can meet in the middle to make it a win-win situation. So,
mm-hmm.
these kind of tools are very necessary. And then also, just for people who don't know, anybody that you consider a mentor should have some kind of, it's not only about the verbal perspective of like them telling you what to do, but they should have some kind of plan, some kind of workbooks, some kind of training manuals, something that they can
Mm-hmm.
send to you that can be able to be a tool that once you go your way, whether it's a 3-week training, a 2-week training, a month, a year, or 6 months, you got a tool that you can walk away with that is pretty much like a roadmap to your own personal success. This thing
Mm-hmm.
ain't built around trying to control people and trying to not allow people to build and grow. If you are
Yeah.
a mentor and you enter mentorship, you got to understand that I see a lot of people who either just don't know how to go about doing it and they make the space a lot more confusing for students, or
Mm.
they just look at it from a perspective of verbal, I'm just going to tell somebody what to do on ego and not giving them actual tools to be able to show them how to be mentors,
Yeah. Or they just putting it together to get some bread.
get some money.
And it got so many holes in it that by the time you spend your money and realize you wasted it, you like, well, they like, well, I got my bread. You'll figure it out. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? You'll figure it
right.
out. And I feel bad for people
Me
without
too.
guidance. We all lack it in some shape, fashion, or form. But
Mm.
with this new technology, man, it's leading people down. Man, some. It's taking them around there where they supposed to be. and they ended up having to double and triple back sometimes because
Exactly.
they following people based off of, man, if I had this bread,
Right.
then I can focus on my
Or
passion of work.
Instagram or social
Yeah,
media post
man.
or, you know.
And they made it easy because, man, when COVID happened, that blueprint came out so quick on the ebooks and the this and the that and the this and the that.
Everybody has something to say.
And if you wanted to get some chicken, you jumping on board.
Right.
You jumping on board because you focused on the currency instead of your character.
Right.
You
Inequality.
focusing on Instagram instead of your integrity.
Right.
And you willing to do anything to sacrifice for a buck that you can find on the ground.
Right.
One thing that I value you as a mentor about, and I always say it, is you teach me how to use my resources. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking that I'm lacking, and you remind me, you got everything you need right in front of you.
Right on.
The reason why you don't think you got it is because you really don't think you got it.
Right.
But if you think you got it, you got it. Or you're going to find a way to get it.
Right. Right.
So I think that, and that's one thing that a mentor should help you with, man, is your mindset. How you think, how you believe. That adds value to what you're trying to do and who you are. So instead of me going to a store or even looking online, now I'm looking around the house to see what I got.
Right.
To see if it can satisfy the thing that I think I need. And sometimes as when you're looking for a mentor, that mentor might be right in front of you. That mentor might be right next to you.
Exactly.
But you so bogged down with looking outside of your world that you forget the value that's inside of your world. And it leads you away from your world, and you find your way doubling back. And now you got to clean up the mess that you made and start over, which ain't nothing wrong with starting over.
And hey, man, we all got. I've also and we're gonna run into the next segment, but I've also run into situations about when I've outgrown a mentor. You know, I've outgrown. Sometimes you might have a mentor, and you know you outgrown your mentor, meaning that I've had situations to where I have a mentor and we vibing. I had one mentor specifically, we vibing, art mentor, older gentleman. Great, man. We was vibing, everything was good. But the moment I published my first book, things got a little shaky. Like, man, you want to be an author, you want to be an artist, you want to be, and that right there was kind of like one of those things that helped me to understand that everybody ain't gonna be there for every perspective of your life, and you got to understand that sometimes people are brought into your life as mentors, as gurus, as teachers in your life to teach you one specific thing. So when that relationship went away, I had to ask myself. First, I was upset, like, man, what did I do wrong? But then what I reflected on, and my dad helped me realize that was like, okay, no, what did you learn from that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you gain from that relationship? What did you learn? Yeah, the relationship might have went two different ways, but what did you gain from it? And how you look at that perspective helped me a lot to be able to lock down and be like, okay, like I said, like you were saying, there might be people in your life that are great mentors that you're not even paying no attention to. You know, you might be so busy wrapped up into looking elsewhere, looking on social media, looking everywhere else, where your
somebody
neighbor
you can't physically touch.
and
You
your
willing to
neighbor
give
is
$1,000, you ain't never met him, you ain't never touched him. But this nigga said something so powerful that set off your dopamines in your world that you like, I gotta give him $1,000 because he gonna teach me the world.
Right.
What'd you say, folks? I'm sorry, I talked over.
No, everything you said, man. People get wrapped up. People get wrapped up with their emotions and get wrapped up into like not looking at what's going on. Like, you got to take off them blinders, man. Like, there are people around you in your life that are there to help you. And if you on your ego and you moving too fast, man, your blessing is right there and you're gonna pass it by. You know. So
and then
being
when you
humble,
double back, then you're gonna get mad because you're gonna feel like somebody took your idea. They didn't take it.
Feelings.
They didn't take it.
Feelings. Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just thought like you. Right. But the difference between them thinking like you, they actually put action behind it.
Right.
And you like, somebody had to tell them. No, nobody had to tell them. You probably told them.
My dad would always say, there's nothing like an idea whose time has come. So I read a book about, I think it was I was reading something. I think it was the book that I sent you about
the circle joint.
Yeah, the circle joint.
Yeah.
Uh Ruben, I forgot the dude's full name. But anyway, he wrote a book, and in the book he talked about energy and like how ideas come into part. So like, it'd be like, okay, you got an idea, you came up with an idea, you thinking you're the only one that came out with this idea, but you ain't putting no grind behind it, you ain't putting no motivation on it, you procrastinated, and the timing is for this idea is right now, and it's ready to be birthed. So it's gonna go on to the next individual who ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if a lot of the times that's also built around your mentorship and your the people that's in your life that you got pouring into your life. Like you gotta consistently, do these kind of things to constantly push good energy and keep things growing and building.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm going back to the book because you said this shook up your mentor. I don't know if you remember, but it shook me up too.
What's that?
When we was in Atlanta, and I snapped on you about your book.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't understand the level you was at. I'm like, this ain't the Malcolm I know. That's part of evolution. And I didn't get there until you was already past that stage. You know what I'm saying? So that was you was already on a whole nother level. And I'm sitting here looking like this nigga wrote a book, but it don't even sound like him. It ain't supposed to sound like him. That's what the editor's for. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? You told me you wrote a book, so I was looking for what up, folks. This, that. I'm like, this dude sound like he went to school. What is going on?
Let's do our disclaimer too. We gotta do our folks disclaimer.
Oh yeah, listen, man. That's family. That's all it means.
Right. If you hear us say this word, folks, it ain't about no gang, it ain't about nothing like that. It's about family, it's about support, it's about love, it's about all of that good stuff, man. So what? So yeah, man.
But yeah, man, it blew my mind to hear you sound so articulate and sound so profound, and for you to write a book. And then I just thought about this, bro. We got what, 3 of us are authors? Me, you, Divine. Who else wrote a book?
Enough of us.
Enough, but that's just dope, especially coming from where we from, man.
Right.
Especially coming from where we from, we found an ability to. I like what Kwame and I said a lot. I am what I see. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we were until you broadened my horizon, Divine broadened my horizon, ET broadened my horizon. All my different mentors took me to a whole different level of things that I needed to see to get beyond the city. I didn't leave the city.
Right.
I just grew beyond it.
Right.
And that's same thing happens with a mentor. I didn't leave you, I just grew beyond it. But I'm able to, just like your pops told you. He wanted you to focus on the good that you got out of that guy.
It's important, man.
Instead of why did he leave me? But that's what we
do. It's easy to be in your feelings.
I don't even like to say certain words no more because I didn't hear them until social media. You know what I'm saying? Trauma, condition, narcissist, all this extra, you know what I'm saying, that they want us to start thinking about instead of moving forward. They want us to push us backwards so we can focus on it's all different
conversation. We don't be in a moment.
Yeah. I think that's what we really need to focus on, man. These moments is important. This moment important.
I say.
You know what I'm saying? So you said we was going to the next topic. Where we going?
Yeah, man. We're gonna we got a little something, man. We're gonna do a little live painting session. Talking about mentorship.
Okay.
So if you're ready to transition over.
Yeah, we're gonna go and transition over.
I'm ready.
All right.
I had great mentors. I had great people in my life. And even to this day, on my path to success, on my path of greatness, I still have incredible mentors, gurus, coaches, people that I call up on for inspiration, people that I call up on for guidance when I'm lost, when I'm trying to figure out a new business idea, when I'm trying to figure out a problem or how to solve a problem, right? So one of the things in this mind state of success is you have to realize that you just don't know it all. I read in a book a long time ago that my great mentor, somebody who I followed their career, and I have a lot of respect for what Russell Simmons wrote in his book. He talked about how mentorship and having great coaches helped him to his road to success. And guys, you know I'm always bringing you great people who to be able to study, and Russell Simmons is one of those people who I'm always studying, right? And mentorship kind of was one of the things that I realized that I had to be able to work towards, because I would find myself in my journey lost. Find myself sometimes figuring out, man, if I only knew this small little key or this small little step, I would be 10 times further. So what I realized is that what I would have to do is start finding the information, start finding the answers to a lot of the questions I was having in my quest to success. And on that journey, I realized that, hey, these are people, these are gurus. There are people out there who have been through your journey. There are people out there who have been through and overcame some of the obstacles that you're trying to overcome. And I said, Malcolm, listen, it's one thing for you to keep hitting your head against this wall, trying to figure out the answer to a problem. Why don't you just step back and find someone who was successful at this thing, find someone who solved the problem, and take them out to lunch. Ask them how they solved the problem. See, when I realized that I really needed mentorship and I really needed coaches, I didn't know how to approach a coach. I didn't know how to approach a mentor, but I realized the best way to be able to approach a mentor or a coach, or to ask somebody to be a mentor of yours, is to be of service. What do you mean, Malcolm, be of service? Like, I don't want to be just giving away all of my time and giving away all my energy for nothing, and somebody's going to be using me up. And I'm talking about being of service, meaning they're like, help somebody else make $1 million so you can learn what the tools that you need in your life to make $1 million. Help somebody else become wealthy so you become wealthy. See, I had to realize that when I was going to these gurus and these mentors, what was going to separate me from everybody else who came to them and asked them for advice? So instead of going in asking with my hands open, I went in with my hands down, ready to do the work. I came in asking, hey, how can I be of service? I'm an artist, I'm a graphic designer. Do you need a book cover design? Do you need any kind of web design? Do you need help with your marketing? I knew that I had a talent and a skill, and instead of begging, I used my talent and my skill as a tool to get close to my mentors. I became of service first, because I realized that I didn't know how to make my first $150,000. I had to learn that by working with somebody and helping somebody else make their first $150,000 first. Mentorship and coaching is built around time. You want somebody to be able to see that it is worthy of them to be able to stop their busy day to be able to help you with a problem or issue in your life. Now, when I started my mentorship with a lot of my coaches, I spent a lot of money as well, because I also wanted to let them know that I appreciated the value of their time, their value of their knowledge. It's like an offering. You know, some people can't afford the money. I have some of my students who can't afford to pay me, but they bring other tools or assistance, right? It's all about a balance, but you have to be worthy of that. You have to prove to your mentor, when you find that mentor, first of all, find and also make sure that your mentor is doing whatever that you want to be successful in. That mentor has to be doing that or has had to have done that. You don't want to learn under somebody who doesn't know. Take your time to be able to make sure that this mentor, this coach, is going to align themselves along with your personal mission. Making sure that you guys can link and grow together. Have a connection. Mentorship is so important. I've had numerous mentors in my life. Some mentors I didn't even realize that they were going to be mentors. I just walked into the bliss of being of service. And a lot of times that turns into an incredible relationship. When I go through some of my most hardest times in my life, I have coaches, I have counsel, people that I can call up on for guidance. That has saved me a lot of money, a lot of problems, and a lot of issues and problems in my life. So take some time to figure out and understand the goals and the vision of where you want to go, and write down at least 3 people, 3 mentors that you want to mentor you, to help you on your journey to success. Because believe me, it makes it a lot easier if you are able to learn off of somebody else's mistakes. Mentorship is one of the secrets to success that nobody else talks about. But guess what, family? I expect greatness from you. So I'm going to share with you some of my lessons, some of my tools, some of the secrets to success and mentorship and coaches and having gurus in your life are some of the most powerful things that you can be able to employ in your life immediately. I'm talking about right now. Write down 3 people at least to start off with that you want to be able to learn from. And when you approach them, be organized, have your goals, have your vision together, and be ready to be of service. When you're ready to be of service, you must understand your value and you must understand the mentor's value. And we're talking about the value in time. That's one thing that we will never get back. Wasted time. So understand your value and understand your mentor's value. And don't waste your time and don't waste their time.
Yeah, man. We got mentorship, man. Little something. What's good with it? You muted. Let me see.
My bad. I was muted. I ain't understand where you was going with the circle, square, rectangle, triangle situation, man. I was like, who put the fence up? And then when you double back, you start spraying and I ain't see nothing. I'm like, what are you writing? But it always come together, man. I'm like, man. Look, dope. Yeah, man. Every time it come together, I'll be looking like, wait a minute, how's it?
That's the beautiful thing about airbrushing and art, man. You doing it live. It's like, it goes from, nothing. It's literally like magic. It goes from nothing to something, real fast. So as we talking about mentorship, if you don't, if this is your first time watching this show, make sure you go to YouTube, AirSkillz Podcast. Every session, every show, we do a painting session that goes along with whatever the day's topic is. So definitely make sure that you always watch the show, because every episode of AirSkillz, we're going to have some kind of artistic opportunity where people can be able to see live art and see live creativity done, by your boy Malcolm Airbrush Assassin.
Man, it ain't every day you get to see the Airbrush Assassin go crazy, man. So any opportunity I get, I take advantage of it. I appreciate it, man. Love that you share it with the world. You teaching me how to do the same thing. You got any last words for the people, bro?
Hey, man. So, spend some time this week, thinking about mentors, man, thinking about people that you got around you that can be able to help mold you, that can help build you, that can help protect you, that can help give you opportunities to think outside the box. and spend some time to harness that energy. It can be something as small as I go into the library. Sometimes I even have met incredible gentlemen and older individuals in libraries. You know, they ain't got to necessarily be older people, but a lot of the times our elders they have a lot of information that they want to share with the next generation. But if we don't slow down and be of service and just go holler at them, you know, then a lot of times that information just, dies with them, so spend some time digging deep, spend some time reflecting on the important mentors and individuals that you like. If you got a mentor, show them some love, man, because a lot of times when you're doing this mentorship work and you mentoring people are always coming to you for advice. And a lot of times people don't pour into us. So if you have a mentor, if you got a big homie, if you got your homegirl, you know what I'm saying, big cuz, look, whoever in your life that helps you, motivates you, inspires you, when you feeling down, you just need that word of encouragement, man, say thank you, say I love you, say, I appreciate you. And if you mentoring other people's, man, do your best to live in a sense of integrity, because like my boy Chika Akua says, like, you got to act like you got some sense, because you never know who's paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So your students are always paying attention. So making sure that you come in with a sense of integrity, man.
Yeah. I think knowing that is half of the battle, man. Knowing that you got them eyes on you and knowing that somebody's watching you, that's half the battle. So you need to act accordingly 24/7. I like what you said, man. We definitely need to pay homage to our elders and take care of them, man, and give them that time, because they gave it to us, rearing us and putting us in position. And once we get in that position, I think it's our job to give back to them. If it ain't nothing but just sitting talking to them, because that's all they want to do anyway. All they got left after they done all the work they did, after they done poured into us, after they done worked 80-hour weeks, all they got left was all the information they got. And instead of us trying to find it through them, we go other ways. So I encourage everybody, just love on your elders, love on the ones that's here for you, and most of all, love on yourself as well, man. This has been another episode of AirSkillz. Now I gotta throw you the line, folks.
It's your boy Malcolm, everybody. Assassin McCray. Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and all that good stuff, man. And we got some more topics coming up, man. Thank y'all.
AirSkillz Podcast.